Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAEAREs Review with me and my homegirl Erin. I'm going to let you know about the What's Going Down episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 11. Everybody, please help me welcome Erin to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm all right. I am glad 2025 is ending and it's so much mess. Things are changing for the better and I'm feeling good. And yourself?
Good. It's my daughter's birthday next week, so I always feel like right after Thanksgiving we like hit the ground running into the winter season.
Ooh, winter solstice? Is that what they call it also?
That's when winter is beginning. So,
Oh, it's still the fall, huh?
yeah. No, we're in the winter. Are we in the winter? Are we in the winter? I don't even. Anyway.
Girl, I don't know. It's cold as hell. I know that.
I should know these things a little bit better, but yeah, all I know is we're barreling towards Christmas. Like,
Ain't we? I mean, we just got through eating all them leftovers and carrying on. If you're still eating them, God bless you. You may want to get you some penicillin because, child, I don't want to see nothing else with a wing on it. I swear, I don't want to see. I want no more wings. Oh my gosh, I'm sick and tired of wings, child. You know what? I heard. Guess what I heard today?
What did you hear?
I heard another YouTuber use the lingo we use today.
Watching, listening?
No. It's the part of the greeting. Look at me, I forgot already. So much, in my brain, y'all. When I say, help me welcome Erin to the stage, someone said that. I have never heard anyone say that.
Oh. Well, shout out to them if they were watching, listening.
Thanks for the love. It's appreciated. I don't want to call them out because, it's not even about that. It's just thank you. Appreciate it. And I watch you all the time. I appreciate you. Wink, wink. Love you. Hey, you guys, don't forget to hype the video. It's like some radio buttons, like 3 little dots or something near the comment section. If you're on the replay, what's up? Thank you for tuning in again. If you're listening, watching, listening right here and right now. Yeah, you may have to scroll or something, but it's right in that section over there. And that'll get me in more spaces and places because we're still trying to get monetized before January 1. Got 250 more subscribers to go, y'all. 250 more. And we can start making that moolah. Speaking of moolah, child, these peppers over here in Utah. I kind of labeled this on my notes. Somebody lying.
I mean, and the way they are trying to make us feel delusional.
Girl. Like we know. We know in that after party situation Mary had after the church service.
I mean, I'm like, and like, the way that Mary was like not confused, but like disturbed. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say because I feel like I took crazy pills, as they say. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, you are so, I mean, I get it. I see why she has a vested interest to like refuse to admit she was way out of line, but the way the other ladies are like, what are you saying? You were a bully. uh, and the way it's so vehemently denied, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, again, I'll say this, just because everybody else, almost everybody else, has the same sentiment and story,
Hmm.
doesn't always mean that it's true. But in this case, they are eyewitnesses. This isn't just them believing something they heard, therefore you did it. Um, there's eyewitness, everybody's an eyewitness who is saying the same thing. And I'm a little concerned because it's so out of character for Meredith. I'm not going to insinuate what Whitney is insinuating because I don't know the woman.
Yeah, that one was a bit of a reach, and it gets reachier in episode 12, which I just
Mm,
watched. So,
mm.
um, you know, uh, I like Whitney. She comes off kind of convincing, and then she'll pull something and remind me that she's full of shit like the rest of them.
You know, well, the one thing I did like about the scene, and you guys were talking about, I call it the after party, after the church service, and everybody comes over, and it was a real nice, elegant affair. Mary does have, good taste for the most part. She knows how to put on a party. She knows how to make her guests feel good. So the ambiance was good, right? Inviting. I thought it was tasteful the way it was done, but Meredith is just so hell bent on just it being like, no, it wasn't me. You're all wrong. Lisa's co-signing it, and then Lisa said that they exacerbated what happened. How did they exacerbate what happened when Meredith was the one revving up her own engine with your help? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just now, I have also fallen asleep and have been, awakened by some noise. I was able to fall asleep, but still, if I'm waking up to the same rhetoric about the same thing, yeah, I'm going to remember. So, Meredith, girl, you got some explaining to do. You really do. I was just venting to Lisa. Well, how come everybody else know what you're saying if you were just venting to Lisa?
And you were venting right behind her. I thought she had her AirPods on and she couldn't hear. I'm like, you at the very least, you were openly talking shit to your friend, and you say you stand behind everything you said with her right in front of you being able to hear you. And at one point, even Lisa admits that she even said to Whitney, just get pull up the fucking TikTok or whatever, the picture or the
Right.
whatever, the post. So obviously it wasn't just venting to a friend, you got other people involved. So like your baseline explanation is already not true. Number
Not
one,
true.
not true, and or not accurate. Let's put it that way. I'll say it more
I'm gonna
nice,
stay with not true. Go
right?
ahead.
Well, and I'm sorry, but like that's the level that we're at this point with the whole thing, right? And
Right.
and it was obviously enough agitation that even if least best case scenario for Lisa, she was trying to shut down the situation by like just show her the post and diffuse this. So that means it was amped up enough that
Right.
Lisa is getting bossy with Whitney, dragging her into it, trying to
Mhm,
de-escalate the situation, which again points
mhm.
to not just venting to a friend quietly on a plane.
Right.
And so, um, what do you feel like Meredith's motivation is to be so adamant she didn't do it that way? Like, it didn't go down that way. I'll tell you, I want you to know yours, and you tell me yours. Unless we want to like intro the scene like we normally do with your notes, with this, the whole, you
Well,
tell
no,
me,
I'll
Captain.
follow you right now. I'll follow you.
Well,
Okay.
just my question for you, right? As we enter
Yeah.
this opening scene.
Right. I'm gonna follow your lead on this, and I'm gonna answer it.
Okay.
I think there's a combination of not being supported in previous couple of years, because she mentioned it earlier in the season when she said, well, I wasn't supported, so don't ask me to do more for you, when she was going back and forth with Lisa when Lisa was asking for more support. Remember that kind of, she kind of threw that in there, so she's holding on to some resentment, because I kept saying it last year when they were this is all backing up what I'm saying, when they were blaming her for stuff that she didn't do at the reunion, and they never apologized to her for that, when they found out it was all Reality Von Teese, it wasn't Meredith. So when they came back the next season, she was expecting, apologies and whatnot, and no one gave them to her. Not, and even when they found out at the reunion that it was Reality Von Teese, i.e., aka Monica Garcia, they still didn't apologize to Meredith. So when she said that this season, I said, okay, she's still holding on. Also, with why she's refusing to acknowledge or atone for her behavior with Brittany is because of how Brittany has been playing in her face about her marriage, and just, and well, not just, but in addition to that, Meredith doesn't like Brittany. They don't mesh. She doesn't think Brittany moves in a dignified direction. She hasn't said this, but I'm sure she will. She'll probably mention, she may loathe the way she parents her children. Because that's a big deal. I'm surprised Meredith hasn't thrown that out yet. But with all of that combined, I think the base reason is that she doesn't like her, and all the other things are in her mind to support why she's behaving this way towards Brittany, and why she won't give in to the fact that she was wrong. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I agree with you, but I think I add the layer on the top of those feelings that
Mm-hmm.
she did mix a Valium with a drink,
Mm-hmm.
and that she doesn't clearly remember the level, or was knocked out enough that she doesn't couldn't gauge how crazy she was actually being, because in like
Mm-hmm.
her hazy memory of it, she was venting to a friend. I say that in quotes. But I do agree with you that regardless of the level, like I'm not insinuating that Meredith has like a consistent problem, you know
Mm-hmm.
although it wouldn't surprise me because I didn't know about Karen. Like I didn't
Girl,
really,
me either.
right? No, but I mean, I don't think
And
any
we
of
didn't know
us.
about Tamar either, but that's a whole nother can. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, right? We didn't know about, people, right? People be doing things we don't know about.
Girl.
People be doing things. Okay, that's what we know. Well, we know that we don't know what people be doing. Okay. So, but I do think that especially on a plane, especially on a long flight, I do think people mix a pill and a drink way more than we would be maybe assuming, you know? Well, maybe not me because, like, I don't do it. But I know a lot of people that do, kind of thing. Um, and uh I could see that being part of this and having her not want to admit to that because she doesn't want to take any accountability for this because of the literally the way she doesn't give a fuck about Brittany and doesn't want to bear the burden of you were wrong or have to be contrite for to someone she does not respect at all anyway.
Right.
So I don't know, because I just kind of get this feeling that like you were saying, if everyone's accounting of what was going down is that similar, and all of them have this air of like genuine disbelief that she's trying to say it wasn't bad. You know, I think that that's the part that like makes me go, all of them are looking at you like, are you really trying to say you didn't do anything to this woman? That makes me feel like it's, you know, more believable. But I think that like to your point, I mean, just going back to the whole motivation thing, I think that it's I don't want to be sorry to this bitch, and I think you said it already as well. She did say some unfair shit to her. Like I get why Meredith wouldn't like Brittany because of the stupid shit Brittany said about her. I think she was throwing up in the bathroom. I think she's an eating disorder. Oh, I think there's kind of some wild shit. Like I don't know you. Like I don't, and now I don't like you.
Or she's outing her. Ooh.
Right. Well, at this point in the game, I feel like watching, like tennis back and forth, with my head going back and forth.
I mean, as far as we know, anything's possible. If it sounds like she's vomiting, most likely she's vomiting. But for someone to say it sounded like she was, I mean, when I heard that last year, I said, what is she trying to hide? Because people recognize that sound. So what else noise could that have been?
Well, I think part of my sympathy a little bit for Meredith is that like Brittany pulled up some TikToker talking about a pretty like it was like almost like picking up the Inquirer and being like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
look what this rumor is." It was pretty like low level, and it's like you're reaching,
Mm-hmm.
girl. So my um perception of the way that she's trying to throw tea and like into the mix and like trying to um like get into the mix with these ladies. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I feel like she's reaching with some of the things that she's saying. And so I can
Mm-hmm.
understand why Meredith might be pissed at her because of how hard she's reaching. But I still don't feel like it justifies completely denying that anything happened.
Well, at least Meredith is willing to move on and right the wrong of hurting Brittany's feelings. With all of that.
Wait till episode 12.
Yeah. Well, well, I'll say this: since she's in the moment with
Right, of
everyone,
course. Yes.
she's willing to not really take accountability for what she said, how she said it, but the fact because she said, "Well, I'll be willing to apologize for hurting her feelings." And usually, That's that mess Dr. Heavenly did. Oh, I'm sorry for, for making you feel that way or whatever she said. But the fact that you believe what you said and you said it with such conviction, it will be nice to hear I was wrong with what I said because what I said was wrong. I don't believe that anymore. I was not thinking correctly about everything. Blah blah. That's how you apologize for saying something you should not have said,
Well,
in
and
my
also,
opinion.
I agree. And like, it's really not an apology if you're like, I stand by what I said. I'm just sorry you heard it
Yeah,
and got your feelings hurt. But like, I was right. The way I was venting, I was justified. The things I said that hurt you, like, I'm not taking back that part. I'm just taking back that you overheard it and were hurt by it. And it's like, well, how could she not when you're fucking right behind her on a plane? Um, but um, you
I would have
know,
moved my seat. I would have said, "Excuse me, Whitney, can we switch?"
I would have gotten up and over the slapped her face over the seat. I would have gotten up
No, I
underneath
ain't
it.
going to
Woo!
jail.
I know, I'm kidding.
Girl,
I'm not, I
banned and
know,
everything, girl. As much as
I
I
know,
fly,
I
but
know. I'm not get,
it.
I don't want to get duct taped to a chair.
All I listen. If honestly, all she had to do was get up and move her seat. Because if they're yanking on the seat, bothering her, having her to, show me what's on your phone and all, I need to move. Come over here. Let's just switch seats because let's just put some distance between us. Because if I'm that uncomfortable, I'm not going to sit there in it. I'm going to adjust myself. I wish she would have. I'm not blaming her for not doing it, but I really wish she would have at least changed her seat so she could feel more comfortable going home. Because I just don't understand why she would sit in it and let them, not let them, but just be accosted the way she felt accosted by all of what was. I mean, if my seat move, I'm moving too. I know what you're talking about because now you're moving my body in the midst of you being angry. And yeah, that is assault. When my body moves because you're angry, you've done something to physically harm me. And then I get wet and all these other things. Nah, I would have moved my seat. I would have moved my seat.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Again, not blaming her, but don't stay in harm's way. Hell, move. Um, what is on my notes, child? I said, Meredith drank before the plane. Whitney outed her and said, "Well, I did see you, like you said earlier. I did see you drinking and whatnot before the plane. You think maybe you blacked out, Meredith?" I do not have a drinking problem, Bert. No, I'm just kidding. I do not have a drinking problem. That's not what she said, Meredith. I mean, oh, I don't know. It's just something about this blacking out thing I have a problem with. I just don't think people be blacking out. They just want to hide behind the fact that they was drinking.
Yes. Well, I think you should Google blackout drunk, like or memory loss during extreme alcohol consumption. But I do, especially when people be mixing. But I agree with you in this case. Well, I don't think she remembers it clearly. Like I don't, or I don't think because I don't think she was blackout. I don't think her like fuzzy memory. I okay, it's not. I don't think. I think her fuzzy memory is allowing her to go. I wasn't that crazy. Does that make sense?
Okay, say it one more time, please.
Sorry. I like jumped
No,
around
no,
all
it's
over the
me.
place.
It's me. I just didn't hear
I
me.
I think that the fact that she was pretty inebriated makes her recall the incident with a hazy memory, so it makes it much easier for her to convince herself that she wasn't out of line, or hold to that story.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Whitney didn't say she was drunk, did she?
I thought she said that to Bronwyn.
I heard her say she was at the bar. But I just didn't hear I didn't hear to the extent of her drunkenness. I must have missed it, but okay. Um, but the fact that she kept talking, she kept going on and on and on. She was fully aware of what she was doing. That's why I'm like, how could she black out if she carrying on like that? I don't
Yeah.
know. And I think you said that to me before, but I think I probably just refused to look at it. But I will. I promise I will. So I can not sound stupid, and
Well,
be
you don't sound
transparent.
stupid. Let's not do that. Like, I think you
Well,
have a fair,
in case I'm wrong.
well, I just say look it up to get a kind of a scientific definition of kind of what I'm referring to of the state of when you like kind of are blackout drunk, because that's part of why people got to go to AA when they drink so much that they're, don't remember the shit they do.
Yeah,
However, I do think you have a valid point that you keep reiterating that I think people hide behind I don't remember. And there's some
girl,
bullshit, and that is true sometimes too. So two things can
girl.
be true. That can happen where someone is so drunk that they blacked out and they don't remember their craziness. They just don't remember it. Or they're saying that to hide behind it.
Now, but I will say this. I know if you were to mix a pill with alcohol, then yeah, you can forget some things. Uh, I hope she's not. A lot of these housewives have been caught doing it. Or I'll say the different franchises, not a lot. I'll say different franchises have been caught mixing pills and potions. you
They
know,
have
uh,
just this season.
well, it's been going on. Different franchises. It's at least four I know.
Well, don't say some, girl. No, I'm just kidding. It's yeah, I mean like I
Hey.
think it's very common for that to I think occur.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it is. Now, the level to which I mean, it's never a good idea. We know that. It's just
Right.
not. It's just not a wise decision to make.
It's not.
Um,
It's actually
it's
poison.
not. Right. So, the doctor's instruction is legitimate. You shouldn't mix these two.
Mm-hmm.
And for part of the reason why you're mixing it is why you should not, because it makes you pass out. It's not. But at the same time, I have heard people talk about doing an Ambien in a glass of wine, a Xanax in a glass of wine, a Valium in a glass of wine. Like, so often I have heard people mention doing something like that to just knock out and be dead asleep in your little tuna can seat, right? Because it's uncomfortable to fly for that long period of time. But if you literally knock yourself out, you get through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a prescription for any of that kind of medication, so it's not even on my radar to do such a thing. But
Right.
like I think another thing that we know about housewives is they kind of have a lot of access to, retail, as I call it, retail healthcare, where you can kind of get your little
Mm-hmm.
hands on all kinds of stuff. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um,
Sure
but
can.
a lot of people do it. A lot of, especially with international or long flights.
Well, bless them. And everybody stop acting fool on at the airport, airplanes in the sky and in the water. All that is federal, and and you'll be on somebody's bus or driving wherever you need to go because you will be busy and just don't cut up. If somebody hits you, report it. If somebody do something to report it, do not retaliate. This is not the time for you to stand your ground because you too will be on the other side of that of the street wishing that you would have not. So just word to the wise. Take one for the team. Document it. Take your phone out. Do whatever you need to do. Record it, and let them know you've been assaulted and move on. Don't
Mm-hmm.
retaliate. Please don't. If you care about the airways that you're accustomed to, you will be okay. Just report it and you'll be fine. Just FYI. Well, we got a little funny biz going on with my girl Bronwyn. That's my girl. Yeah, that's my
Mm,
girl. She was
yes.
born in Brazil, y'all. Let's hope that the fool in chief ain't ain't looking at this franchise because she ain't a citizen. She was born in Brazil, and her parents are from the UK. Girl, everybody over there,
I had no
over there
idea
is illegal.
that where's the accent on Muzzy? Like where?
Girl, who knows?
Like
Assimilation got rid of it, child. Who knows?
I mean, Utah sucked the British out of those folks and made them even more vanilla. And I didn't even think that could be possible than the original colonizers. Shoot.
Well, you know what? When I look at folks over there in the Eastern Hemisphere in Europe, the women look androgynous. And I always thought her mom looked androgynous. Does that make sense? Did I say the word right?
Yeah, you're saying, yeah. Didn't,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I thought that was apropos. So I said, okay, I see that. I see that. Mm-hmm. I see it. But as far as her citizenship goes, she's trying to get her citizenship done. But with all this going on, let's hope she do. Maybe she'll fly by the radar because she's not from one of those it hole countries that fool been talking about because he likes to favor his own. So let's just hope that's my girl. I don't care what's going on. She's Brazilian, and I hope she gets to stay. So let's hope that everything works out well by the time they have their reunion. She'll give us some good news. What do you think about Brown being an illegal immigrant child?
I know.
And she went to school. All right, but then again, it was okay 19 years ago when nobody really, pressing the issue. But yeah, girl, but she's a really pretty woman. She really is. She doesn't look androgynous.
Bronwyn?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, she is. Definitely.
Hmm.
I don't like some of her eye makeup in her confessionals. Sometimes I'm like, you are depretifying yourself, but sometimes Bronwyn's outfits hit for me. Like I love that one suit. I was telling
The
you, ooh,
multicolored.
yeah, the
Mhm,
galaxy, like
mhm, mhm,
psychic ELB, and she's got like that, celestial looking suit on, like all, the blouse and the jacket, all of it. I was like, ooh, and I don't even really like busy print, but when it's done right and it's like all, like where you're wearing like the Versace print, like,
mhm.
I dig it. So anyway, but yeah, come on, girl, be a citizen. Yippee for you. I don't know. I don't know if you want to be a part of all this mess, but
Well, Ty can't go to Brazil. He got enough problems just with girls on his phone. Look, girl, don't
right.
take him
No,
down there,
yeah, no more
girl.
flights.
No Brazil for Todd. No. Mm-mm. I mean, because what I heard about Brazil, girl, you will come back and can't find him. He will be lost in the sauce. Ooh, what else happened? Oh, another light-hearted moment. Remember, y'all, Heather was redoing her office because her kids were leaving the nest, and she had that big bay window type of atmosphere up top on the top floor. And she was getting it all redone and wide and plush so she can write her novels and books and whatever else she's writing about and not staying in her bed, writing and carrying on. And how it looked was how I envisioned it would look. I like I've always liked her taste in things. whether she's depending on someone else to do it or if it's her own vision. She has, in my opinion, even with her clothes, she has an urban eye on things. I've noticed she likes a certain look on her, very similar to mine, but I love her office. I love it, love it. Did you like her office?
Yeah, it was cute. A lot of light, airy. That's always, that's always
Hmm.
in a positive thing, I think. I think Heather's had a really great glow up recently, and I think she's
Hmm.
dressing her figure well. She looks great,
Yeah.
good for her because some of these heifers, like, they are looking so like a dried out husk on the shot, and she does look good. She's carrying it all well. Heather,
Yeah.
don't go too far. Don't ruin it because you're looking great. I know
Right.
everybody be
Right.
talking about all this right now, but it's something, it's just something to talk about, to be honest. And it's a weird line. Obviously, I've stepped all over it with some of my body shaming comments, but I've been on this journey. I had weight loss surgery. I'm, being to be open about that always. Um, and I've lost 200 pounds. I had to have, excess skin removed.
Yeah.
There's a new trend right now that reminds me of the 90s heroin chic, and that's what they're calling it, this new level of this Ozempic craze where, like, skinny on a level that is unhealthy is becoming chic again. And it's really unfortunate because, some of the facial fat loss and the level that these ladies are going to on these drugs, it's really it's disturbing. It's
Like
disturbing the
Shelly.
level. Yep.
Yeah, Shelly looks ill. Sorry, honey. You just look a little too little.
Yeah, it's getting too far. You mean Sally?
Girl, I called her Shelly and forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sally.
and I just said yes, like it
You know,
was
because you
not
know who I'm
even.
talking about.
I know.
And I'm sorry if you listen, watching, listening. Uh, uh, waif, it, but as long as you don't, the problem is it looks unhealthy, and
Yeah,
that's why the conversations happen.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
one thing to get thinner, like Heather, but when it starts to look unhealthy, that's where the concern comes in and the chatter. People gonna talk about you, big, little, small, whatever, but the unhealthy will always be an attention grabber.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because these women have privilege and money to have access to this medication and the ability to, get this thin, and we're all watching. And it's like the thing is body dysmorphia kicks in, and, like, just different things, and the level of unhealthy that some people are reaching
Mm-hmm.
is really disturbing because you know what? That influences all the rest of us. So there is not a responsibility because you don't know anybody crap, but, like, don't be surprised. Like, we're gonna notice and talk about it. It needs to be talked about in the wider culture because it's dangerous to idealize that level of thinness. It's dangerous.
And when people have been diagnosed with an eating or a mental health disorder where they see themselves not as thin as they really are. I didn't want to mention this one star's name. You may know who I'm talking about because she's similar in Sally's case, where she looks unhealthy. And because I don't know if Sally, and she's never mentioned having anything mental going on with her, I said her name. But if I do know that they have an issue, I really don't want to, make them the table conversation because they have an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you probably know who I'm talking about. But it's
I think I do. I think I
yeah,
do. At first, I thought it was someone else, but then I went, "Oh no, no! I think I know." Well,
yeah,
body dysmorphia is very real. It's a lot more.
yeah.
Like, I absolutely struggled with it to a certain extent because, you know, when you, and a lot of people that have gastric bypass surgery do, because you're used to seeing yourself, or, you know, at a certain heaviness, and then when you lose weight so quickly, your brain struggles to adjust physically, you know, like
Mhm.
it just literally does. So, you
Mhm.
know, but you know, like I said, I don't want to dwell too long on it
Yeah.
versus the whole rest of the episode, but I think that we are not, listen, body shaming is real, and women's bodies, my God, the way we, you know, police them and do all of this is just too much. But this is a trend that is concerning. So,
And now I do have one point or question about body dysmorphia. You seem to know more about it than I do.
mhm.
Does it also work when the person is morbidly obese but yet sees themselves as thin?
Yeah, yeah, it's not
Same
it
thing.
yeah, it's, I would say that
Or even super morbid, and all because it's one person came into mind where they're dressing like, why are you wearing that?
yeah.
And saying things like, or using adjectives that would describe a person who is much smaller.
Yes. Um it's so yes, technically, because anybody that is in their mind genuinely sees and perceives themselves to be one
Got
way
it.
versus
Okay.
the reality. But
Hmm.
I think that um there is kind of like uh different, how do I explain this well? Um, it's like there's kind of maybe some different contributing factors to the when someone really heavy gets thin, because
Hmm.
of the way society worships size and smallness and all of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, that influences the way that they see, like, oh, I need to be thinner. I still look huge. Like, I need to be smaller because I'm not as small as the supermodels that I see on TV, right?
Hmm.
Whereas somebody that's like you were saying, morbidly obese, is like seeing like, oh, I'm hot and I'm not that big or whatever. There's a little bit more of a dissociation, I think, maybe going on, you know. But
Dissociative disorder.
yeah.
Okay. I've heard of that too.
But anyway, this is my
Anyway, yeah.
armchair crack. I am not an expert in any way, shape, or form.
Me
Chat,
either. Me either.
correct me if any of you are.
Please do. Please do.
Heather, you look great. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, you look great, girl.
You
Even though
do.
you ain't my favorite, you
No,
you look
yeah,
good from head to toe. It's
she
well
does.
proportioned.
Yeah, you do. You look great. Don't ruin it. Keep, you know, don't go crazy.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
Lisa and Meredith getting their nails did, yes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
More surprised by Heather and what I say? More surprised by Heather and Whitney. Um, wait, hold on, my notes. They are surprised by Heather and Whitney and how they came at them down to the church after party that I call the church
Right.
after party.
Right.
They're just, they're just, I guess they're willing to die on that hill. That's how I see it. I don't know what else to say about that.
Well, I can understand why Whitney would not be willing to back down, because if she was right there and Lisa's saying, just show her the fucking post, and like, and she's watching Brittany crumble, and Meredith won't shut the fuck up, like, you are not going to tell me what didn't happen. You're not. You are
Uh-huh.
not going to tell me what didn't
Right,
happen. I
right.
was in the thick of it. And then again, I respect Heather being like, you are not gonna fucking tell. You even sent me a text, sorry if I snapped. You're like, you're trying to gaslight me that you bit my head off because I was saying, what's going on? When you were clearly agitated, right? There's all
Right.
these signs from everyone, including your your homegirl, Lisa. Lisa was like, I remember when this was first brought up, what did Lisa say? I was just saying to Whitney, show her the fucking text to just stop this whole thing, like get it over with. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just
There you
so we can
go.
end this. Why she admitted to that right away.
Sure did.
Why would you do that in any way if it wasn't something you were trying, if it was a calm situation where
Right. You
she
trying
was
to
just
shut it
venting
down.
to you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't admit to doing that if it weren't already an amplified situation you were trying to extinguish. If it
That
wasn't
part.
already a fire, girl.
I'm just trying to help her so she can
Right.
get, out of Meredith's crawl. Girl, that's not what she said, but she, but she did say, I was just trying to help her by,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's not helping. Helping is telling your homegirl to shut up.
Yeah. Like,
That's
yeah.
helping.
Be like, not now. Not now, you know? And so for you to act like I didn't know she could hear, yes, you did, because Lisa already grabbed Whitney and tried to get her involved. Like whatever. Stop. The proof is there. Yo, mentirosas, liars.
Now, I wrote this note. Lisa met with Brittany and argued. Girl, I don't even remember what happened. What happened?
um, she says to her, "Are you really gonna try?" Sorry, I'm like, are you really gonna try and deny like that you even hit me up? Like, you know what I mean? Like you're like gonna not acknowledge reality.
I don't even remember that scene, but I wrote it down. Lisa
Because
met with Brittany and argued.
oh, Whitney, I thought you said Whitney.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Lisa. I'm
Oh,
Lisa. Lisa met with Brittany and argued.
Brittany's like, are you gonna take any accountability for your part in it? And she's like, I already apologized to you. So basically, no. I was like,
Where they meet?
was it at a bar? Like I keep the
Girl,
when you ask me that, I keep see. I think it was at a bar.
what?
I keep seeing Brittany and Meredith at the park when you say when they met. So like maybe
That's interesting. So I also said Lisa feels bad, Brittany not feeling her support on the plane, but when she says, I'm just trying to help. I just don't, girl, I wrote my notes. So I don't remember her and Brittany meeting. Anywho,
sorry guys, we're sometimes we got a brain, whatever. Fill it in for us.
yeah, let us know what happened. No, but seriously, okay, so Meredith.
Yeah.
Meredith says she feels sorry for Brittany. Like I mentioned earlier, how she kind of loathes Brittany. She doesn't appreciate Brittany or being around. She doesn't uh, uh, feel like Brittany is qualified to be around. She doesn't appreciate what Brittany brings to the show. She doesn't like her at all. And the more and more Brittany does, not just to her, but to other people, especially with the recording. I mean, she blatantly lied on that because that was just a blatant lie. So she knows she's a liar. She knows she'll just bring things up that's not true or could be. Um, so she knows that Brittany is with the shit, right?
Yeah, and I mean Brittany is. Like I think she's proved that. I just did a little flashback. They did meet at a bar. They met at a bar,
Okay.
and 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 Lisa did the whole flip flop thing that she does. Like
Yeah.
I did apologize to you. I'm sorry you didn't feel supported. I was just trying to do that, whatever the situation. And
Yeah.
Brittany's like, are you willing to take any accountability? And like Lisa's like, I already apologized to you. So it was basically like typical Lisa stuff where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, back
Okay.
to the Meredith situation. I understand Meredith's point in the sense of I didn't just bully you out of nowhere and victimize you. You've been annoyingly shitty to me, like, and or you've said things I don't like and appreciate, so I don't like you.
Yeah.
And I already don't respect you because you recorded us last season, and you don't love your kids enough and all that shit. you know?
Girl. And then I wrote, Meredith feels sorry for Brittany being a sorry ass BITC. Meredith thinks Brittany is a sorry ass woman.
She
That's
does.
that's my summation about Meredith and Brittany.
Yeah. And that's why she doesn't feel sorry because she thinks she is sorry. I am not sorry. You are sorry.
Ooh, these heifers. Ooh, these heifers. You know, I guess we just gonna move on because Whitney driving
yeah.
the U-Haul child to Heather's to get this
Gross.
nasty ass
Oh,
85-year-old mattress. I still don't under after 8 years it's supposed to be replaced anyway. But anywho, apparently it's the same mattress she then conceived all her kids on. Her kids is grown, y'all. That's why she said 20 plus 50 years of her, however long she had that mattress. I mean, how and
this,
it stained up, and then
yeah.
made gross jokes about the stains and how
Mm-hmm.
she made sure that that whatever happened, it was just we don't want
Uh-huh.
to hear about where the fluid went or how you kept it from staining your mattress. However you did is TM effing I. That's all I gotta
Thank
say
you.
about that.
I blame production for this. This
Yeah.
it and Heather, this is gross. Do not video. This is supposed to be about an aspirational lifestyle. I don't want to
You
see
know?
your stained period blood, like dirty, gross mattress. You didn't even do flip side where like the cover was on. Like the cameras are picking up this and why? It's like when they do a video of one of the dog shit on Bronwyn's floor. I don't want to
Girl.
see it. I don't want to
Girl.
close the. I don't want to see it. Excuse me. I don't want to be grossed out by other people's bodily fluids or functions, animals or people. I don't want that. I don't want to see it. You can make a reference to it, but don't show it to me. You're just grossing me out. You're not entertaining me. So that was disgusting. And yes, you're right. You do need to change mattresses. And like, so I even if I didn't, I wouldn't admit that on camera. This was terrible. And then to go on and talk about make some reference to swallowing, is that what you're doing? Like, because I don't. Maybe you would be married longer if you did. You know, like I don't even. I
Um
don't know. None of that.
actually actually I didn't even think that was a reference. I thought maybe that, once he was finished, she made sure it stayed in. That's
Right. He.
what that's
Right. Okay.
that's
See
what
what
I
the.
was thinking.
What are we speculating? I don't want this kind of speculation. You know, like I don't. This. No. Gross. Unnecessary scene altogether. Yuck.
See, that's the stuff you share with your girlfriends, just between y'all and the lamppost.
And you don't put your nasty and production, you don't show us this gross mattress. Like what are you doing?
And they sell mattress covers that zip up the mattress in it. So it could be all black and moldy. We wouldn't know. Put the doggone mattress cover on.
I
Slip it in
would.
there like a duvet, zip it up, and you can do whatever. You can throw it out the window if you want to.
The level of mortification, I just
Tacky.
wouldn't. I just yes, I wouldn't endure it. There's no way I'd want the public, all of the people that watch Bravo TV, to see a nasty mattress like that.
Now, what
Mm-mm.
else is nasty is how Whitney was talking a little greasy about Bronwyn when you was the one who said it on camera. So don't blame Bronwyn for telling Meredith what you told her when y'all were bonding. You was also talking about your little indiscretions and how much you want to be with somebody else and this, that, and the third. So all that conversation was rolled up into one. But the fact that Bronwyn was really confiding in Meredith about a possibility of, do you think you may have had one too many? You know, however Bronwyn said it, maybe that's not how she said it, but the whole point is, Whitney, you said it on camera. So how freaking private could you be?
So I agree with you for the most part, but like here's
Yeah.
I have this like when you're gossiping with someone and they take what you say over to the other person, I always like I it's like if I were hearing it, I always look at the person saying, and what'd you say? Because obviously it's like within the company, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
wasn't just talking to myself, you know. Now, um but in this case and not only that, but then the person who's relaying the story, they're getting to put their own interpretation and to speak for you. And I don't like that. It's like you now took it upon yourself to make sure you looked okay and you made
Hmm.
me look however you felt it was. What if I don't agree with what you said? What if you aren't accurate? We know how easily people tone, inflection, the word choice, when you're relaying something, out of context, all these things.
Yeah.
However, the point is, though, Whitney, you basically said you felt like Meredith mixed pills and drinking, and that she might have a problem. You pulled that out. That accusation, you made it. You did. And no matter how Bronwyn related to Meredith, that is what you're insinuating. So I get it. All of us feel betrayed when we have a conversation, when we're gossiping with someone, and we feel like we have a confidant, and then we find out that we don't, you know. And I do think Bronwyn is very good at weaving in and out of like, oh, I'm gonna tell you, and oh, I'm gonna keep that to myself. And she's all too quick. I do remember that was one thing I was really struck by about Bronwyn. I got
Hmm.
why Heather was looking at her weird because remember the first season Bronwyn was on and they went with Lisa to Wendy's and Bronwyn or like kind of
Hmm.
jumped in real quick about talking shit and she was kind of
Hmm.
like whoa.
Hmm.
So I do think Bronwyn can get slick with it, as she said to Todd. But it doesn't take away the fact that you're still making a loaded accusation, Whitney. So stand up to it.
Friend, bump all that. She said it on camera.
Well, yeah, I mean this is true. She was going. I mean, she was going to find out.
I mean, say that at least. I would hope that Whitney would say, I would have liked to tell her myself.
Right.
She beat me to it
Mm-hmm.
instead of how dare I mean, as if it was a secret.
Right. Well, that part I agree with you
Like,
100%.
girl.
The only leg you have to stand on is I would have liked to have addressed it with her myself, or you should have brought it up while I was there. Throw me under the bus while we're looking at each other in the eyes.
I
you know?
mean,
So, but other than that, you said
yeah,
it. I
talking
agree.
about
But
my girl.
well,
I'm talking about
like I
Whitney.
said, oh yeah, no, I do listen. Sometimes I'm like, isn't it convenient? When you go and
Okay.
you get to somebody first and you tell them your perspective on it without the other
Okay.
person being there to speak for themselves. However, the only thing you can say is, I don't appreciate the way you did it. Or you could have also let me know that you told her. You could have also called me up and say, hey, that thing you said about Meredith, I let her know about it because I didn't feel comfortable, or we had a conversation and it came up and like I didn't want, I brought it up and asked her point blank, you know?
Good point. As soon as Brahma was done
Yeah.
with the with all the questions on her way home, they went a quick text. I mentioned
Yeah.
to Meredith what you discussed with me. Maybe she was drinking, but she denied everything. Let's talk later. All right, bye. Something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But really, to Bronwyn's defense, they get mad when she do it, but when they do it, it's all good. She been saying that since last season.
Yeah. Well, and I also think like, um, you know, what was I gonna say? Um,
Whitney.
I know, I'm just trying to think of like what point, like, uh,
talking shit about each other behind each other's
I
back.
know, but well, it's like she just
All the
owed.
things.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, yeah, she definitely owed her some kind of heads up to like, hey, I
Heads up.
did talk, like,
Hmm.
or I got it now.
Okay.
If you are, and she did on the after show, and she still does. If you are gonna stand by doing it because you feel justified, because you were
Hmm.
like, I didn't, like if you're gonna stand by the fact that, well, she made that accusation, and so I talked to her about it, right? Then
Hmm.
you really shouldn't have had a problem letting her know, hey, I outed what you said, because when you said it at the lunch, I wasn't really that comfortable with it. Because remember when she said she's going to be mad at you when you say it, like she even responded that way at the lunch, like,
Mm.
you know, then you just can't be too slick with it, because then you can be accused of delivering a bone whatever style you want. And if you're going to
Hmm.
speak for me, you're not going to let me know, you're not my friend. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to put
Right.
me in a situation where I can't trust you speaking for me, or at least you got to let me know on a show like this. If we're really friends, you'll give me the heads up that you outed what I said, so that I can at least not be shocked that, oh shit, my friend, whatever. But if you're gonna, like you said, back to what you said, if you're gonna say it on camera, it's getting out some way or another.
So the moral to the story is, for all y'all housewives and married to medicals and charms of the South and and the all the things, right? A heads up will lessen the confusion and lessen the animosity once you are confronted. Just saying. That's from me to you.
Yep. Yep.
From me to you.
Yep.
Or from us to you.
Yeah. Yep.
That now that's a freebie. Now don't forget to subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure the bell is black. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we're done with them.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl, Olivia and Brittany. Brittany, girl, you in danger, girl.
This
You's
is
in
so
danger. Because
sad. This is just
her,
sad.
okay, so Olivia was pretty much raised, well, the last 7 years in her dad's care. Is
Mm-hmm.
that my understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Big ups to
I
him.
Mine as well. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Big ups to him because she is so forward thinking. She got it that she don't need no help expressing herself.
Yeah, that was true. It was very mature for, what is she, 20?
19.
Yeah,
Then,
that's emotional intelligence, you
then
know.
she got it going on. She ain't crying, emotional, throwing things, trying to, yelling. She is at a serious tone level. Her diction, she's getting her point across, and she's saying all the things she needs to say. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, it's really it's refreshing to see someone this age express themselves so um adult like,
Yeah,
because
she. Mm-hmm.
yeah, especially when it hurts her so much. She wanted to break down a few times. I can tell from the first
Yeah.
time we saw her and even
Mm-hmm.
this episode, but she's keeping it together because she knows she needs to get her point across. Big ups to her. I'm sorry you're going through this. If you listen, watching, listening. We are on your side. Your mama is trifling. Yes, she needs to get her ish together. We all know that. Believe us, you.
Yeah, we're all, well, actually, I want to say big ups to both of them for being vulnerable enough to share this moment with us.
Yes.
Both of them, because um the I appreciate Brittany saying self-loathing and shame that she feels for the way that she acted, because to admit that on TV, and to admit that you were like a crappy mother in that way, that you
Yeah.
like would, betray your children enough to gain the favor of a man and his other kids. That's
Hmm.
really like God. But unfortunately, as as we know, there are a lot of parents that do that kind of shit, and they don't necessarily ever take accountability as humbly as this situation require. Like admitting this on TV. I mean, all right, Brittany, I don't necessarily respect you, but I do appreciate the fact that you were willing to do this for your daughter and go on TV and like say, I'm gonna admit this to you, and like and be vulnerable enough to tell you that I have a lot of self-loathing and guilt
Mhm.
for abandoning you that way. The problem I have right now with you, Brittany, respectfully, because I do think you are a good addition to this show. I do. You're weird and you're Mormon flavored and it works. Um, you need to get it together with Jared because your daughter is having a hard time having a relationship with you because you haven't changed being male centered. Sally, if you're watching, listening, this is what you're going to become if you don't get it together.
Hello.
Like, as Vanita said, the male centered is now like my little buzzword, but like you haven't changed this behavior yet. And that's the part that's like, so, okay, you've admitted it to us now, but now you need to do the work with the therapist to stop being chasing all of the like positive brain chemicals you get with this on off shit with Jared. You need to do the work to stop chasing after relationships like that and prioritize your children. Your adult children, it doesn't matter. You have to make up for 7 years. Put them first.
I agree. I have a preface before I say what I'm going to say. I don't believe any therapy should be viewed for reality television.
You're yes, I do agree with you as well.
Um, no matter what age, no matter what circumstance. Now, if they're doing some type of documentary, whatever, but reality television, after you can film them waiting in the waiting room, film them coming out, and if they whatever they want to share is what they want to share. I think that Carlos King has made Trish, the one with Ken and the kids and the soon to be
Hmm.
ex, well they ex now. He's made
I
her
don't think they are even. I bet you they're still
girl.
married right now.
Um,
Anyway, go ahead. Just saying.
I think he has made her the the poster child for making sure there's therapy, excuse me, for people who really need it on the show. Um, I don't like it how it's based off of what happened to Kiki Jabbar because oh, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I'll keep it with SLC. I'll talk about them another time. But I'm gonna stick to what I'm saying. I don't think therapy should be recorded for television sake. Let us know what happened, whatever you want to share. But my notes are this: Olivia and Brittany meet up with professional therapists. There are 7 years of neglecting kids. They both feel unworthy of love. Brittany's guilt and Olivia's neglect are the focus.
Mm,
That's deep.
it is.
These were her formative years. I think I've mentioned this before when we first saw her uh, tell her mom a new one, rightfully so, but it was done respectfully. That's why like it's respectful. She's still respecting her mother. You
Hmm.
know, she ain't out there yelling and screaming, trying to pull her hair out. Um, when they both said they both feel unworthy of love, we know why the girl feels that way. But I didn't catch if Brittany gave a reason or the therapist may have suggested a reason. Do you?
No, and there has to be because to abandon even your own children to be chosen by a man, there's got to be some major crap, and to not feel
Mhm.
lovable, like um but back to your point about the therapy thing, I think too um I understand. I don't mind us first of all, therapists that get on TV, it's performative. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
and I think then you're running the risk of this weird, like you're not really practicing therapy anymore. You're being on TV with a reality star and you're like participating in a show. And it's no longer authentic work that's happening, because I think that just even by the fact that there's cameras in the room and there's these things happening. However, I think that if you, it kind of goes what you said, where it's like if maybe you want to have a therapist that is comfortable being on camera and you want to have maybe like an example of what you are seeing where you want to talk about this and you want to have a professional guiding the conversation because you're going to talk about it on camera together, right? Like that, okay. And then you like go off camera back to having regular therapy. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have it on camera for us, like Tamara and her therapists and that kind of crap, where this is the example of like therapy working. I don't That's not what's happening here. We're watching people perform. So
Mm-hmm.
I do think this was a very honest conversation between these two. And it was just, you know her saying like you're my mom still, and even though my heart is saying I shouldn't trust you, I still want a relationship. I'm like, god, this is so sad. This makes me so happy that like I just decided stupid men ain't worth it. I'm just gonna stay with my child till she's older. You know what I mean? I'm gonna raise my kid and not, because god, this was just. And thank you
Mm.
to Olivia for being so mature in this
Yeah.
example. You moved a lot of people, girlfriend. You moved a lot of people.
Yes. In all walks of life, this girl.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, so we done with the therapist part. Now
Yeah.
another mom and daughter moment. Bronwyn and her mom and Gwen go bonsai tree making, 3 generations of heifers.
Mm-hmm.
And Bronwyn finds, I think they planned this. Some tell me that let's tell mom that we're doing what we're going to do. Okay, so Bronwyn finds out that they both plan to move out of the house. So it'll just be her and Todd whenever he comes back, and them animals and whatever else is living and growing in that house. Because I hope it just
Right.
reflected Jesus. The girl, Brahma, you my girl, but girl. But yeah, Gwen needs to just go out and do her. It is, she really can't stop her. She wants her to live her life, but she moved the boy in because she wanted to be close to her daughter. And then the mom needs to live on her own. But I thought she was Ellen. Like, I thought she needed assistance.
Yeah, I thought she had brain cancer. Um, but
Hmm.
I guess she's feeling well enough to be back on her own. I guess she's recovered enough.
How about an assisted living facility where there's a whole bunch of seniors, and they got folks, there just think, I don't know, but I wouldn't feel comfortable if what I remember is she moved in just because of her health and because she needed assistance for fear of finding her laid out somewhere and she couldn't get up or whatever the case.
Well, they had to deal with her father who had dementia, right? And like
Right.
his stuff. And then she got brain cancer during that. I'm pretty so I think there were a couple of contributing factors to having her live with them so she could be watched over. I do agree with you that just because she's ready to be on her own again, that there doesn't need, like, a senior living would be great. Even if you have your own condo, but there's like assisted living, there's all kinds of levels of
Mm-hmm.
oversight. So hopefully that's what she's going to do, because and not only that too, but like I think a lot of people would rather be in communities with their peers. They're like, I love you, but
Mm-hmm.
like I would like to go have some friends, some other androgynous weird eyebrow, Mormon old lady friends.
And I wouldn't blame her if she don't want to be in that house no more because
Yeah.
it's not her cup of tea, and she's still harboring feelings about how her life turned out. So, there it could be multifaceted. It could be, more than
Yeah.
just wanting to leave. But anyway, I ain't trying to put words in her mouth, child. She said what she said. She ready
Mhm.
to move on. The daughter ready to move on, and I guess we'll see what happens next because we know she come back next season. Bronwyn is here to stay. It is what it is, child. It is. She gonna be there when Jen Shaw. Oh, girl, Jen Shaw gonna be home in 1 week,
That's crazy.
ain't it?
Everybody like is acting like she didn't exploit the mentally, like she didn't exploit the mentally vulnerable,
Speaking of assisted living facilities, okay.
lining her pockets with scamming money off people that'll never get it back.
The worst thing about what she did was when they found fake Louis Vuitton bags. I said, "Well, I'll be damned. How you gonna sit up here and have fake Louis of all luxury brands?" They said every
Yes,
last person there was pseudo. I said, "What?" Anywho, well, our last theme, Meredith and Brittany. She invited Brittany to apologize. Brittany was expecting the full Monty apology.
yeah. Wow.
But she got what she got because Meredith said she was sorry for hurting her feelings.
She was sorry she overheard it.
Ain't that some y'all? Did y'all hear that apology?
That's the only thing she was sorry. I'm sorry you overheard it.
Not that she said it. She don't
No.
feel that way. She overreacted. It wasn't what she. No, just like what we said. She's sorry she hurt her feelings, and that she overheard it.
Uh-huh.
And Brittany accepted it. I wish you accept anything Jared do.
Right.
You accept anything. Anybody do something bad to you, but you girl, that girl. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
When we don't live in a way that we respect ourselves, AKA, or IE, actually, IE, not AKA, how you treated your children, abandon your children,
Yeah.
um, it allows you to accept bullshit from other people because you
Right.
don't feel worthy of,
Mm-hmm.
you're hungry for whatever validation anyone else can give you. The
Yes.
way to remedy this situation is start honoring your kids and denying the hard, allure of the chaos
Yes.
of the on off crap merry-go-round that you got with Jared, and just sit in a life that's boring for a minute, but invest in your kids and be proud of yourself for denying the lure of your basically like substance abuse with relationships, love
Right.
addiction, that is a real thing.
Right.
And based on a lot of the earmarks of the relationship you have with Jared, it's kind of what it looks like. Um,
Mm,
so, that would make it a lot easier for you to look at these women and not accept bullshit. But she's smart though, because honestly, as sad as this is, the way they all kind of don't respect her, the only way she's going to hang on to the show is if she just accepts what they say and moves on. And she does it enough that, like, you know, she's going to be back next season for sure. Andy likes her a lot. So, this is a well played hand in that sense.
so okay. What I was gonna say is this. What I'm gonna ask you. So accepting that bullshit ass apology from Meredith
Yes.
will keep her in a certain type of good grace with the rest of the cast.
I think well, first of all, I think she acknowledged, which I do appreciate about her. She's like, okay, well, here's where I kind of attacked you, right? Because
Yeah,
Meredith
she
said,
just yeah, she
you
owned her part. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that is something I do like about her, because it's like, you can, at least you can admit that you like got, like you antagonized Meredith. You did.
Yes.
And it did feel a little bit performative, like you were trying to get a moment on the show.
Right.
So, and you were reaching with this TikTok and stuff.
Girl.
So that's why I think she accepted it, even though I think that Meredith was abusive to a level that should have been unacceptable. But I think that she wants to stay within this friend group. And I don't think she has a solid enough relationship with any of them that any of them would necessarily save her. I think it's strengthening now that she was completely attacked. She's got some people behind her, because now Heather and Whitney are like, don't you deny, they've taken on her issue as part of their own, because Meredith and Lisa are trying to gaslight them and tell them Meredith didn't attack her, and you all are being bitches. And they're looking at her like, you crazy. Even Mary is like, Mary's like, Meredith, you're wrong, right? Like the way she was like, you fucked up. Like, so it's now become a bigger issue than Brittany. So I think that by her saying, okay, I'm going to try to move forward with you, she's trying to stay engaged in the game and continue to build friendships and kind of alliances in order to have any kind of leg to stand on. Because before this happened to her, nobody respected Brittany. You know what I mean? Like, nobody did, because she's a dingbat. But then to kind of be literally attacked at the level that she was, then now it's like, you know what though? You can't bully people, yo. Like, she deserves to be respected enough as a paid member on this cast, and you can't treat her like a certain way. You can't break someone's spirit just because you don't respect them. Like, who the fuck are you? Really?
Okay. Okay,
Does that
I'm
make
with
sense?
that. Yes, I'm with all of that. The
So that's what
one,
I think is happening.
huh?
I said that's kind of what I feel like is kind of
Okay.
happening.
Okay, so Heather brought this heifer into this group. She is Heather's problem. It's gonna take Heather to bridge her with the other ladies.
Yeah.
Mary, Mary, she has a better chance at being friends with Mary than she does Meredith. Meredith
Ooh.
is so far away from Brittany. She's just being cordial. I don't see them doing anything. I don't see them going to each other's house. I don't see them doing nothing together, but maybe arriving to the scene at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. No,
That's
I
it,
think, yeah, the begrudging apology that
girl.
Brittany got was performative. Period. It wasn't it she doesn't feel bad about shit. She just wants everybody off her back.
I think this is Heather's problem, and Heather needs. Even Bronwyn has made an effort, so I think it's up to Heather to bridge that gap so that Brittany is more fortified in this group since she brought her into this group. And it's up to Heather to make sure that the ladies are welcoming her. Heather has a big job for season 7, lucky number 7.
Well, have you noticed, like, Heather, like, didn't even
Excuse me.
respect or treat Brittany very well. Like, in the beginning, like, it took like her literally getting attacked like this for Heather to like pay her any real attention. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Well, yeah, Heather's, feeling herself.
right.
So,
Yes. So,
she wants Brittany to fly on her own, go ahead, little bird, fly off and do you. But she needs to keep her on one of those leashes that you see kids on in the store. She needs to do that because Brittany has made an issue with Whitney. Not that she is at fault, but she's, have issue with uh everybody but Heather.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like though is they'll say like, "Oh, Heather brought her on," but half the time that's not even true. Like they barely knew each other and whatever. Like
I
I get
thought
it.
she
Like
said
with,
she knew her.
I mean, I think they did know each other, but they play that stuff up.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Well,
However, I do respect what you're saying that like if the premise is this is your friend you're bringing on the show, whether you're friends or not, you're still kind of responsible for her.
yeah, that's
I get it.
that's your
I get it.
responsibility.
Yeah, right. Like, get your kid. I get it.
Like Lisa Braun went, did she?
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because Bronwyn,
So, she tried to, and then they had their thing, and friends fall out, go back, fall out, but yeah, but the fact that Brittany was well, anyway, I just okay. So Brittany and Brown were two different bags of potatoes, and Bronwyn knows how to Bronwyn knows how to play. Brittany needs help. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, really. Heather needs to
yeah,
help Brittany
yeah,
because she brought her in.
yeah. Well,
She
I
gotta help
mean,
the
and
poor
I think
girl.
that's why she accepted Meredith's insincere apology and to just move forward. Because I think she just, if it's, I think Brittany's hoping like, I just hope you'll never do what you did to me again, and like I won't come after you anymore because you got me good,
Yes,
kind of thing.
that's how that ended for sure.
Yeah.
But there's one more point I want to make about Heather and Brittany. Also, because Heather has such a great rapport with her kids, her daughters, I
Mm.
think they're missing that connection. Let's get our kids together. Let's, help the girl, Heather. You, that's all I'm just trying to say, child.
Yeah.
Just help,
Well, someone's got to.
child. Well, that was all I got for my notes, child. That's it. That's all. Anything else?
That's it.
Well, that was it, y'all. We're going to catch you next time. Thank you for tuning in for this late night creep. We appreciate you.
Yes.
We're going to come again with another double episode at the end of the week. We're going to bring you episode 12 of Salt Lake City and also episode 2 of the new season of Southern Charm. And don't forget, y'all, we announced that Drag Race is coming through season 18 at the top. I mean, the very top on the second of Friday. They always have their shows on Friday. So we're going to be doing that. And just catch us, y'all. Now, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say about this episode?
Nope. I told you I just watched episode 12, so I had to like make cuz some things change quickly. That's all I got to say.
Oh
So I
Lord,
had to
oh Lord, we may have to
as
make a retraction come the
yes,
weekend, huh?
as quickly, yes, I'm telling you, as quickly as some things happen, and that's how quickly things unhappen.
Well, I can't
Or,
wait to watch the episode, Chad. I'm gonna watch it ASAP.
yeah, Muzzy. That's all I'm gonna say to you right now. Muzzy. Okay?
Ooh. Child, listen, before we go, where can the folks find you when you ain't talking ish with me, please?
You could excuse me yawning, everybody, because of the late night creep. You can catch me on Facebook at Psychic Aaron Boyd. You can also catch me on Instagram and Threads, psychic_ELB. Hit me up in the DMs if you'd like to get a psychic reading. I do offer the aunts and unks a friends and family discount.
Thank you so much for that. Hey, y'all, 7 p.m. this Friday. Catch us back for an, episode 12 and also for that Southern Charm episode 2 shortly after that. Have a good night, y'all. See you. Bye.